traveled over 8,000 miles from a factory in Michigan to an island in the southwest Pacific. How it got here is the story of American ingenuity, courage, and hard labor, of teamwork between men, thousands of men whose hands shaped this gear, packed it, directed it, loaded it, shipped it, and unloaded it again at this distant outpost. It is the story of every piece of material, from the largest cannon down to the smallest screw. It is the story of how fighting equipment gets through to our men in quantity and on time. The long and dangerous journey begins back in America at a port of embarkation. Nameless, shrouded in secrecy, teeming with ships slipping in and out of their berths. Hundreds of ships every day, carrying American-made goods to the other side of the globe. The docks are lined with equipment, specialized equipment needed to fight the jungle. The warehouses are stacked high with boxes, boxes filled with ammunition and supplies to fight the Japs. All of them neatly stored, all of them marked and labeled. This port, any of our ports, is well equipped with labor and time-saving machinery. Military stevedores run the winches, load the trucks, drive the derricks, the platform lifts. Boxes and crates are swinging in huge cargo nets. Jeeps, tanks, ambulances, trucks are handled as easily as if they were toys. And here is the freighter leaving its sheltered berth. Here it is, far out on the ocean, one link in the long chain of supplies stretching across to the southwest Pacific. And here we are at the end of the chain, among strange, nameless islands. There are no sheltered berths, no docks. These freighters have to be unloaded at sea. Smaller landing craft take over. Cutting into the surf, they push toward shore. A shore misty, forbidding, treacherous. Ahead of them are the assault boats, the men who clear the beaches. The supplies move up behind. They move, men and supplies, in small craft exposed to the enemy. They land at the fringe of the hot, steaming jungle. They unload the boats. There are no cranes, no derricks, no platform lifts to help them. The docks are sandy beaches or mud or jungle. The warehouses are sandy beaches or mud or jungle. The derricks are the arms of our men. The platform lifts are the arms and shoulders of our men. They're standing in water to unload. There are no docks. They're carrying one box at a time on their shoulders. There are no cargo nets. They're lugging coils of signal corps wire. They're piling up shells and more shells, boxes and more boxes. There are no time clocks. These men are on a 24-hour shift. Here come the jeeps, and even the jeeps sometimes get stuck in the mud. With the heavier equipment, bulldozers are landed to level the ground, to open spaces for supplies, to start plowing roads through the jungle. The beaches must be covered with wire mats before heavy truckloads of supplies can be brought ashore. Bags are filled with sand and then dumped at the end of the landing ramp for underwater supports of the heavy equipment. Slowly, carefully, this anti-aircraft gun is pulled out of the landing craft. If anything should happen to it, hundreds of men would be defenseless. If a vital part of it were damaged, repair might be impossible. Every one of those men knows that the lives of others depend on him, his skill, his judgment, his labor. They have learned it the hard way. Trucks are coming off the ramps now. More craft are landing. The engineers have built a crude pier. The bulldozers have started pushing a road inland, and supplies are going forward to advanced depots. Gasoline for trucks, tanks, planes. This is the way it comes ashore. Drum after drum rolled up on the beach by manpower. There's no special crew to do the unloading, no military stevedores. Everybody has to chip in. Boxes are piling up high on the beach. Food for our men. Food to go to the front. Each man must have 5¼ pounds of all types of food a day to keep in fighting trim. It takes a ton of all kinds of material per month to keep one man supplied overseas. That doesn't include reserve. That doesn't include losses. Losses through enemy action. A direct hit. This ship was an easy target. All ships are during the landing operations. That's why they have to be unloaded fast. Another hit. Burning oil. Oil that was needed for our trucks and tanks and planes. Oil that cannot be replaced. Every piece of equipment destroyed means weeks and months of labor lost. Every bomb hit means time lost. Time that must be made up by harder work, longer hours. These men save what can be saved, salvage what can be salvaged. They know that every screw, every piece of steel may be needed. They are stevedores and firefighters and salvage men at the same time. Twisted out of shape, the trucks and jeeps and ambulances line the decks. Below the decks, men were burnt to death. But out of this destruction will come new strength and the will to fight to the finish. Out of this destruction will come a new team spirit. We here in America are part of this team. It's up to us to replace every truck, every tank, every piece of material over and above our quota. We can do it. We must do it. General Supply Depot. This is where the orders are filled for the advanced depots. Scattered over a wide area for minimum risk of destruction, food, ammunition, spare parts are stacked in separate lots. Every box, every crate, every carton is holding vital supplies. It takes 249 boxes to equip a 100-truck army. It takes 3 tons of ammunition an hour to feed a 105-millimeter cannon. These trailers are used on the muddy, bottomless roads in the jungle. This depot is now far behind the front. It is well established. The various supplies are marked. Motor parts, ammunition, ordnance. The trucks can back right up and load. Every box and crate and carton has to be moved many times before it gets to its final destination. There's rough handling. The men are tired. There's always a rush. But they know how to save time. This is a homemade derrick, rigged on a standard truck. It works. It works fine. Look at the welding job. It's crude, but who cares? These men aren't construction engineers. They come from the farms and the little towns and the big towns. Americans all. Americans who are doing a job they didn't ask for, but a job they know has got to be done. They drive the trucks. They load and unload the boxes. They get the orders filled. They deliver the goods. The boxes must be able to take a beating. They must be strong, watertight. These men haven't the time to be careful. Others are waiting. Others are moving forward to fight the enemy. They can only advance if the supplies advance with them. They can only fight if they have the food, the ammunition, the guns. They need reserve rifles, spare machine guns, hundreds, thousands of them. They're going forward, always forward. Guns are dragged through the jungle, the mud. Roads are built as the heavy equipment moves forward, corduroy roads. The engineers are on the job. The tractors are on the job. The men are rolling the logs into position. A team of men working together, working to get the guns through that'll blast the enemy. The bulldozers are just a jump ahead of the supplies. It's a never-ending fight with swamps and trees. But slowly the fight is being won. Slowly the first crude trail emerges from the wilderness. It begins to look like a road. Soon trucks will be able to follow with more supplies. Bulldozers are far ahead, clinging to slopes. Powerful machines level and grade the new road. Men are blasting the last few miles. Men are bridging the river with makeshift equipment. The supplies must get through. And here they come, the first trucks driving across the new bridge. More trucks driving along the new road. To capture this airfield from the enemy, we had to destroy it. Now we're going to rebuild it for our fighters, our bombers, our cargo planes. It will be an advanced base for supplies, built by our engineers, built with American machines brought across mountains, through jungles. Each steel mat has to be fitted by hand before the big planes can land. And here comes the first, a flying fortress. Soon there will be more planes, fortresses, liberators, cargo ships. They will be coming out of the sky, out of the clouds towering forever above each island. They are coming, tokens of the growing strength of America. Not all of the planes land smoothly. There are accidents, both major and minor. A landing gear buckles. The prop's bent. The wing looks all right, but will have to be checked. The tip is damaged, and so is the tail. It could have been worse. It'll take many days to make these repairs. Longer, of course, than it would take at one of our big home bases. But they'll get the job done. Slowly, the plane is jacked up. Slowly, inch by inch, it is brought back to an even keel. There are no electric hoists to do the work, just hand tools and manpower. A new rudder. If you ask these boys where they got it, they'd probably tell you they found it. Maybe they did. Only a few years ago, they were rebuilding jalopies with parts they just found. They are American boys. This plane must fly again, and they will make it fly. They not only repair damaged planes, they overhaul motors, too. They dismount them, strip them down, rebuild them. Exchanging a prop, that's just routine. But a routine under a sky that may be filled with Jap planes any minute now. Any minute wasted out here can mean death. Here's an outdoor repair shop. Men are working in the blinding sun. There are no concrete floors, no workbenches, just tools and hands. This plane is only one of many. This field is only one of many. Cargo planes are loaded with supplies for our men fighting to open new fields, new advanced depots. Weapons, ammunition, food are going forward. We are pushing ahead. A fleet of ships is waiting to take soldiers and supplies to another island. The boats are coming in. The LSIs and the LSTs, the small craft. Our men are ready. Our supplies are on the beaches. The boxes and crates and shells are waiting to be loaded again. First come the assault troops. They board the LSIs. Then the equipment follows on LSTs. Jeeps pull the trailers. Trucks are lining the shore. They drive up on the deck. That's the easy part of the job. The small equipment is loaded again by manpower. Men are lugging the shells. Men are wading through the water out to the landing craft. Men are carrying boxes through mud. Tired men. American men. They're leaving the island. One nameless island where they fought and sweated and won. They're going out to sea to other nameless islands. Stepping stones to Tokyo. To fight and sweat and win. They are fighting for us. They are winning for us. Far out in the South Pacific, they are winning with the weapons American labor is putting into their hands. They will deliver the goods as long as we are delivering the goods to them.